So hi everyone, welcome to AltTabMe.com. This is a podcast on the game H1Z1. In case you don't know what that game is, it is a new zombie survival apocalypse game. It's kind of like DayZ meets Rust without the penises meets any other zombie survival game you've ever played, except it's developed by SOE. And it is using the PlanetSide 2 engine, so it can support a massive amount of people. So it's being coined as the first zombie apocalypse persistent MMO, so to say. So you can build houses, you can build bases, you can build stashes, and you just have to survive against zombies. And so what we're here, so it's in alpha right now. And what we want to do is we kind of want to talk about what the state of the game is, because it just came out about 2 or 3 days ago. And that's basically what our podcast is going to be about. We're going to talk about the game, where it's at right now, what they've been doing for, patching it as we've been giving them suggestions, and how quickly they've been patching it. Some of the little conflicting statements that we got when we first started the game, some of the launch issues, and how they've, gone forward on that. And I'm like running out of fingers, so I just keep rotating here. It's cool.
Use your feet, dude.
Yeah. And then, we're going to do the... But yeah, no, so that's the general idea of what this podcast is going to be. And once again, remember, this is AltTabMe.com. You can go there. It's the community that outlasts release dates. It's basically a mature community of, a bunch of people that love to game, and they love to treat each other with respect, really, and just hang out. Go there during work or not. But anyway, let's stay on topic. H1Z1, Zombie Survival Apocalypse. What are our thoughts so far? So why don't we start with, how was launch? So the game came out, Friday?
Thursday night, I think.
Thursday, yeah.
So the game came out, well, technically the game came out Friday, because unfortunately Thursday the login servers were not
I got in.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
So Fernsey got in.
As to be expected.
Yeah.
I got in later that night.
I
did
really,
try.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see a problem with the idea that, like, a lot of people were really pissed off because they couldn't log into the game right away. But it's like, this is their first launch on this game. It's like any other MMO. It's like, why not have a little bit of, they fixed it really quickly. Within a day, the game was fully running, and you could get in as much as you wanted to. But, so we'll get it out of the way. There was definitely a little bit of a, what's the word?
Hiccup?
Not a hiccup. It was the Smedley thing.
Oh.
What would that be called?
Negativity.
It's a bit of controversy.
Controversy. That's the
Yeah.
word. Yeah.
Oh.
So, Typhor, why don't you go ahead and hit that one off?
So when I woke up in the morning, I was on Reddit in the bathroom, of course, and I first saw all the posts on the front page. I think that's where most of the controversy was. I had the same reaction. Holy crap, you can buy weapons from airdrops, and they drop on top of you 3 times in a row, and they give ammo over and over again. That was the story with the streamer. I was against it because it seemed so easy. But then I experienced it, and then I read all the different background and what they were planning on doing. And I love the idea of being able to create that event. As long as the drop rates are low and the danger is high, I'm fine with it. I think Total Biscuit came out with something very recently that he kind of talked about this. I think he can say it way better than I did, that it was essentially the communication was there. There's fault on both sides at how it was done, but it was it was bad. They should have had the airdrops fixed right off the bat to avoid this, but it's early access, so.
I think the thing that bothered most people, and me included, is that I don't think, especially where you're in a world where, like, the economy's shit and police are shit and people are shit and, everybody's just kind of in this state of, oh my God. And so gaming is a way to get, a release from the realities of the world. You go into a game, and the first day after, multiple... My cat is molesting me.
It's like, I love you. Daddy, I love you.
But I think that the problem is that in all the interviews we heard, is because this is a free-to-play game, that they were not going to make it pay to win, and so you were going to only be able to buy cosmetic items. And I think that was the problem right off the bat, is because the minute we logged in after paying $20 to get early access to the alpha for a free-to-play game, they basically said, hey, by the way, you can buy weapons. And that was on the first day.
Mm-hmm. Let me put it this way. So I have a lot of expendable income, so if I could pay to win, I'd be winning a lot more than I certainly am. And I think if you watch the stream, I've died a lot of times, and if there was a way to buy guns, that wouldn't have happened. So
yeah.
I'm testament to the fact that you cannot pay to win. I stay away from airdrops because I'll get shot in the face.
In our community specifically, we have the people that were on the hype train and that were not on the hype train. And the people that are not on the hype train, I think, are burned a little bit from the idea that, and I don't know anything about this because I didn't play Star Wars, but apparently the head, John Smedley, he may have borked that a little bit. We don't really know. Like, I mean, to be honest, I don't know because I'm not part of that gaming. I'm not part of the development team. You don't know whose fault was what. But apparently there is some serious hatred for that man. Unfortunately. And so when he basically came out and said, I never said it was not pay to win, it was like, a lot of people did the fucking, that hamster thing was like, doo, doo, doo. So I think it just rubbed people the wrong way. But what fixed it for me was that even though he started denying it right away and he started to try to backtrack, the community really called him out. This game has been on Reddit. This game has been on multiple forums, and the feedback has been extremely important, and the players' opinions have been extremely important to the development of this game. And so the players are really ingrained in it. And so when the players heard about this stuff happening, they were not afraid to vocalize it very quickly. And within a day, they had one of their developers talk about the fact that he talked on stream about it not being pay to win, or not certain items not having weapons or ammo or things that you would think would be pay to win in a zombie apocalypse game. And he basically recanted that a bit. And on top of that, however, which is the thing that made it okay with me, is that they significantly dropped the rate at which you can get stuff from airdrops in the game. And they laid out exactly what could drop in each airdrop. So you see exactly what it is. And if you don't like that list, you don't have to play. But after looking at that list, I was like, oh, you can get a shotgun? Oh, you can get a couple rounds? Whatever. Like, I've died with shotguns. I've died with, weapons. And it's just like the circle of life in a zombie apocalypse game. You find someone's shit, it's yours. So I don't know. I think it kind of died out a bit. Fernsey, what's up?
I think it's a nice idea. I didn't like the paying aspect behind paying for an event kind of thing. Like, I would much rather have paid for a box copy of a game and for that to be a timed event to happen. That's just my opinion on it, because microtransactions is just a way to make money in my eyes. Especially when you're paying for the event servers as well. It's a little bit kind of over the top in my eyes. I did do a review about it, but I'll leave that there. I really like the idea behind the drops, and that they changed the drop rates and how far the drop actually drops from you now. They've opened up the radius, and they've actually slowed down the speed that the crate drops at, so you can see it from quite a while away. And they've also increased the range of the plane and slowed it down so that it travels slower. So it's quite easy to spot it and converge on it for a nice combat. It's fun events, I like it.
Yeah, I think someone had mentioned the idea of making airdrops a regular thing versus someone has to pay for it. Obviously, that doesn't make sense from a development standpoint because they're not making any money, but it would definitely add a really cool way to add that. We have to go to this area to get something. Oh, they're dropping in supplies. Oh, we're in a zombie apocalypse and they're trying to help us. Oh God, we need to get that. I think people would be less angry if it was something the game mechanics did. But at the same time, if the game mechanics did it, it's the same thing as someone buying it. It's just now, SOE's making a little bit of money off of it. So I'm indecisive about whether or not I like it or I hate it, but at the same time I'm not totally against it because it's not game breaking. So hopefully it stays that way in the future and it doesn't get any worse than that. We'll have to keep an eye on it, but it looks like the community is pretty damn vocal. Where I don't think they're gonna get away with it. Like I think they'll lose a lot of their player base.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Well, they've already become pretty responsive, not just to the airdrops, but in general. Like within 24 hours, that was like, we got this, we heard you, it's nerfed, test it out now, and you'll see.
Yeah.
They've done that with a lot of things though. Like they've been really good with patching. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I've seen more in the last 3 days on H1Z1 than I've seen in the last year of DayZ. I mean, that's just my perspective. Like. I feel like H1Z1 is a really fast developing community. I think the devs are working hard, and I want to see where it goes. Like I've had 3 airdrops because I got the premium package, although that was a bit of a glitch. I won't talk about that. I called all 3 airdrops. I got none of them, but I contested other people's airdrops and I got quite a few of them. So again, it's like you're paying for a gamble. There's a lot of the time you're not going to get your airdrop. Well, most of the time you're not going to get your airdrop because there's going to be 5-10 people wanting to get it too.
Yeah.
So true.
I think one of the coolest parts of this game is that they are definitely addressing things fast. And to me, a lot of people ask me on the stream, they're like, "Hey, should we get this game? It's in alpha." To me, buying any game in alpha, beta, release, whatever. If it's an MMO, the game is always an alpha. The game will always, always, always be an alpha. Mind you, some games are a little more alpha than others, but those words have gotten so muddled in the last couple years, where basically if the game is live and you can pay for it or you can get into it, that game is what the game is going to be for the next couple of days, weeks, months, whatever. And the thing that's making me happy about it and that I can happily say to people, yeah, sure, pick up the game, is that they are addressing things quickly and they are patching things quickly. So the game has already changed significantly since we first logged in. Some of the stuff they've changed, I don't have the patch list up next to me. Do you guys remember any of this stuff?
I know they're working on changing the amount of zombies that are in the game. That'll be a huge plus. They're working on fixing the loot in chests, like cabinets.
They've already fixed the loot in the world. Both of them were issues, and now only one of them is an issue.
Respawn rates for loot they fixed almost immediately. That was a huge issue that came up. I know they've taken a lot of feedback on the presence of the crowbar. The crowbar is the only way to gather metal in the world. Metal is used for kind of the more advanced crafting. They're addressing that in an upcoming patch. I think there's a patch today that will fix it. So they've been fantastic. I mean, there's a lot of stigma behind alpha games because usually they're released, the developer makes money, and then bails, and then you never see updates again. And we've already seen, maybe 3 or 4 updates on it that's completely changed or fixed some aspects of the game. So
yeah, there was definitely the one that I think was the most significant was that, and they needed a lot of players to be in game. You have to understand that, for a game that they've only tested internally most of the time, they need a lot of players in game to figure out a lot of the bugs because we're crazy. We'll just play the game.
We do crazy shit.
Yeah, we'll break your servers, we'll break the game, we'll dupe fucking items, and we'll be like, whoa, that must be a game mechanic, and now I have 45 shotguns.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Stress test the servers.
So I think the best thing is the transparency, though, because they've been updating, but they've also given us updates every update. Hey, an update's coming in an hour. Hey, an update's coming in 30 minutes. This is exactly what's going on. Hey, the update went through. This is the feedback we've been getting. It's just been much better than I think a lot of dev teams have done in the past. Not that I've been a part of a whole lot of alphas, but just in general, I think that they are way more ingrained in their community, or at least they're trying to be.
Well, plus there was definitely a positive aspect of the health dropping and so when it's a zombie apocalypse game, so over time your health drops and so it's hunger and hydration. Yeah. So those dropped so fast in the beginning that you literally were running around, and we called it the blackberry simulator because in the world there were blackberries and you just had to drink and eat them non-stop, otherwise you would die. And you had no time to go looking in houses. You had no time to go exploring the world because you were constantly looking up at your bar and you're like, holy shit, I'm almost fucking dead. they reduced that significantly, and it's made it a lot more calm. Like, you're like, I mean, it's a zombie apocalypse, don't get me wrong, you're like, oh god, but at the same time, you're not like it's not like the Sims game where you're making your sim pee and you're going, shit, I really have to pee too, but I gotta get my sim to pee before he dies. You know what I mean? So it's definitely less like micromanagement of your health and your hydration, and it's more about, hey, let's explore the world. Hey, there's a dude over there, don't get shot. I think so. Anyway, so that's how launch went. That's that's kind of our first impressions on launch. Now let's kind of talk about the idea of what the world is like, what the players are like, what the zombies are like. So it's a zombie apocalypse. It's a zombie apocalypse game. What does that mean? Does that mean that you're just you're in a world filled with zombies? I think right now zombies are a little weak.
A little weak and too few.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be able to run for 15 minutes in a field and not see. I'd see more people than I'd see zombies.
I don't think you should. So, okay, so like we've all watched The Walking Dead, or we've watched, we've watched countless zombie movies. I think you can use movies as a really good example of how it's done right, because there's a lot of really good zombie movies out there. And The Walking Dead is a really good example of, they're stuck on a highway and they're stuck there for a day or two, and all of a sudden there's a horde of zombies walking through the highway. This is the kind of stuff that I feel like the developers should be looking at and going, we need that. We need to make the players, even though like there's PvP servers and PvE servers, on both of these servers, the same thing applies. You should feel like the zombies are a threat. So if you're hanging out in an area too long, you should get overrun by zombies. And it will make, especially on PvP servers, I feel like if the zombies are a real threat, you'll have people, it'll give people less of a reason to run up to you and shoot you in the head just for fun, because they want your help. Do you guys agree with me on this?
They need your help.
Absolutely. So I'm a huge proponent for the PvE server. I only play the PvP server because you guys are playing there and it's fun to play with people. However, both of the problems on the PvE and the PvP server can be solved by having the zombies be the threat to your life. If I see a player on a PvE server, it should be, my mentality should be exactly the same as if I was on a PvP server. Holy crap, a person, they can help me survive. On a PvP server, however, there should be that extra bit of nervousness that I think people like, where he could stab me in the back as soon as we're safe. But the primary list of dangers should start with always zombies, then your survival, and then the survival of your teammates. But as of right now, there's no zombie threat, so your survival comes first, and then comes second is you just kill everyone around you, because that's just all there is.
Yeah, I mean, me and Fernsey got into a couple situations where we were fighting, and there were there were like one or two zombies, and it was turning nighttime, and at nighttime more zombies come out, and we didn't know that. And we were in a town, and we're like, okay, cool, one or two zombies. Oh shit! And there's like 50 zombies, and now we're overrun, and now we're booking it. We're like, oh shit, we got to get out of this town. And then we see other players, and on a PvP server recently, it's like basically Call of Duty survival. It's the players stopped and said, we'll help you. And so we all turned around and we took on the zombies. And God, that was really fun. And we all made friends. We built bonds with these people, and we decided not to kill each other.
I think after yesterday's patch, it's not where I'd like it to be, but it's way better than it was at launch. There are definitely much more heavily infested areas, like if you go to the dam or the main cities, and at night some of the suburban areas, it's like I can't even go near the houses because there's 4 or 5 zombies on the street and 2 in each house, and there's 5 running around, but it's too few and far between, even though it's better.
I think there's one thing that could be really cool to adding to that is that so there's headshot only servers, and that applies to players, animals, zombies, everything. What I would like to see is them just take out body shots on zombies. Make it so you can only kill a zombie by hitting it in the head. Like, what movie have you ever seen where you can shoot a zombie in the body with 3 arrows or a bullet and it dies.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen one?
No.
No. Zombies are headshot only. So I feel like if they just made zombies always headshot, even if they added just a little bit more zombies, it would still increase that, those two things together multiply
more
the
threat.
danger. Yeah.
Yep, I agree. Especially if you've got a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
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 I mean, that's a lot of fun. I mean, like Yeats Motel, that we had a horde of zombie at Yeats when we were with that other guy. That was a lot of fun. Like, I want to go through that a lot more. Even just on the streets, have them walking down the street, maybe a group of 4 or 5 of them just strolling down the street. That would make my day if I bumped into them and I was like, oh damn, I've got to get out of here.
Yeah, I think there's a feeling of people want that community feel. They want to feel as though they can make friends with people. I've run across some people that I have quested with, and then all of a sudden, a group of 20 bandits come up and just shoot the crap out of us for no reason because there's no zombies. There's no reason to not do that. And I want that. I want to feel like I'm going out in the world, and if I run across somebody, I want to at least feel them out. I want to find out if they're good or not. I want to ask them the 3 questions that Rick asks people. I want to be like, so how many zombies have you killed? Why? Or no, how many zombies have you killed? How many people have you killed? And why? Like just that immersion feel.
Yeah.
I wish it was the case, but I would love an RP server where it was enforced RP PvP, because that is exactly the kind of PvP I want. I don't want mindless killing. I want it for whether it's survival or if they've taken on the role of being a bandit, and but I don't want the like, lol, you're a noob, or most recently I've gotten, lol, you're a girl, I'm just gonna kill you. The people in my stream told me to kill you. I'm like, okay.
Or
I don't want that.
Or you get I totally agree with you. Or you get I would like to see names being a little bit more regulated as well. I'm kind of tired of seeing your mom's a gay fag and I raped her as a name.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Seriously?
Most places or most companies, I think, have regulations on names. I'm actually surprised that SOE, being such a huge one, doesn't have words that are banned.
I mean,
again, we're early in though. It could change very quickly. It's something that you could end up having all your characters wiped and quickly find that all these names are restricted.
I feel like that's something that they should add. I think it would increase the servers. I just think it would be better for the players in general. It'll help gaming in general because it's a massive culture now. You've got things like Gamergate making big waves. I mean, you have to really look at this and you have to go, what's the culture around gaming and what's the culture in gaming in general, and then what's the culture of the world, and then you have to look at it and go, okay, my game is taking us a step back. How do we fix that? Well, naming is a good start. I think regulating that a little bit. It's not about censorship, by the way. I'm not like trying to censor the shit out of people. I'm just saying, names that aren't actually names are kind of stupid. They're just they take you out of the immersion. You run up to a guy where his name is something stupid like what I said before, and you're just like, oh, okay, so I guess this guy is just here to be an asshole. Like if you run up to Legolas, then maybe you'll be like, oh, maybe he's good with a bow.
Oliver Queen,
Oliver Quinn, right?
Oliver Queen, yeah.
Or
but I
Katniss
agree, but
Evergreen.
Yeah, Katniss Evergreen up there.
What is with the Evergreen? Is their name Everdeen?
No,
Yeah.
I don't care. It's Evergreen today. That's
Okay.
that's what I am.
Copyright law.
Yeah, I have to.
Oh, that's right.
It has to be like a little. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like
I
Darth
think they have to
Vader.
fix the naming system a little bit. The way the naming system is right now, you take a name on one server and that's it. Like, it's on that server. The only way to get that name is to delete that character from that server and create it on another. That's caused me to have 10 Ferentzes and about 4 other characters with random names. And that, I think, induces people to use the names that you're talking about. Like, because they can't get their original name, they're like, screw it, I'm just going to bash something in, Because, why not? Why the hell not?
Yeah, I've done the
Pretty
same
sure
thing.
I'm pretty sure they've stated that that's a thing that they're looking forward to changing, but it's not like immediate. But they will be having names take up on a server. You can use the same on a different server.
Well, I know. So they're using the PlanetSide 2 engine, and I know in PlanetSide 2 the same problem exists. You can't have the same name on another server. So I think it's in their structure. So I highly doubt that's on their priority list, unfortunately. But I really
Yeah.
do hope they look at it because, you know, I've done the same thing where my name is Triage in game, but I'll be like Triage X or Triage XXXXXXXX or 1-2 Triage. You know what I mean? Like I feel like
Yeah.
I'm making AOL IM names here, and it's just it's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It would be also cool if you could put a space so you could have a first and a last name.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that hasn't come up.
I did
think
like
that would be really helpful for RP, which I think a lot of people like to do, just ad hoc, like when we were pretending to be police officers.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the best police officer around, you know?
Actually, you should. Actually, I think that video is up on YouTube now, so you can just after you're done watching this, you can just go back and see us in our police car, and you can watch us drive around for a while, and then you can watch us be idiots and die.
To bow and arrow.
To a bow and arrow.
Or get hit by the car we were trying to
Yeah,
run.
get hit by the car. Mhm.
It wasn't my fault. You guys were
I
like,
saw the video. We were way far away
see,
from the
thank
car
you,
that hit us.
thank
It
you.
was weird.
And did you see how many times I ran over him
Yeah.
and he didn't die?
Yeah,
But
He
then
managed to jump over the
you
car like
moved
a
the rock.
boss, though.
No, he did
You-
jump over
Yeah.
the car like a boss.
that needs to change. They need to not be able to jump over cars.
No, I think that's cool. Jump over a car, man.
Yeah, man, that's
Well,
awesome.
I could understand going like across the hood, but not the way like he went over the entire car. You know, like he shouldn't be able to go over the cab of the car.
Maybe he's a really good basketball player in a former life before the apocalypse.
Oh, maybe. I guess so.
So barring Michael Jordan in a zombie apocalypse, I don't think anyone else should be able to pole vault over a car.
But yeah, I like the idea of roleplay servers like you were talking about before. That's my kind of thing. I don't know if you've noticed. Like I like to troll a little bit in game, but it's, I don't call it roleplay. I call it troll play because I do kind of stay in a troll character, but it's funny, you know. I think people enjoy it sometimes. So
Well, and I think on roleplay servers, you know, you don't need, all you need to do is make a little icon for roleplay. And the server usually enforces it. The players on the server usually enforce it. They don't have to put in a rule set. They don't have to add anything else. They just have to put RP next to it. And the server usually enforces it pretty well. Sure, you'll get a troll here or there, but the majority of the players are there because they want to roleplay. And so you're going to fill up those servers with role-playing wannabe players, right?
Mhm.
And so it's going to make it very hard for people to log in that aren't role players because you'll get a really high queue. So I think that would be very beneficial to the community, and I also think it would be beneficial to people that want to interact more and not, you know, go out there and snipe people just for shits and giggles.
Mhm.
Oh, that might be what they're role playing. They might be role playing a sniper. I don't know.
But I think I'd be okay with someone who like chose that role for themselves and is like, you know, like they played the very quintessential evil bandit, like ha ha ha, I got you, as opposed to like, lol, I'm better than you, learn
Yeah.
to game, you know.
I prefer someone choose the role of raping my mom, as opposed to just
Wow. Oh.
Okay. Yep. I think I saw that name in game actually.
yeah.
I think that's where that came from because I think I've killed that guy a couple of times.
Yeah.
People with those
He's
names,
killed
I mean, if they walk on my street and I don't have a set of pants, I know he's not going to give me his pants, so I'm going to ask him for his pants, and then I'm going to kill him because he's not going to give me his pants.
Well, I think what, you know, like, even though it was just a bunch of people trolling, there was some guys in cop cars earlier, and you could hear them on microphone being like, "Oh, we got a runner!" So I mean, you knew they were role playing cops, but at the same time they were shooting the crap out of you. But it was at least fun to engage in that.
Yeah.
Like I was laughing my ass off as I was running, like, "Oh god, oh god, oh god!" But that's really funny. Oh god, oh god, oh god. So, I mean, as the game is, it's definitely it's a solid game. You can definitely play it without much, you know, issues. It runs pretty optimally on all systems so far from what I've seen. I do think that there is a little bit of a learning curve when it comes to, I've seen a lot of people on our forum specifically saying, I'm having a lot of trouble beating zombies, or I'm having a lot of trouble killing people. I can't seem to aim properly. And I think that because the first bow you get is so hard to, you know, it takes so long to reload and stuff like that, which I actually like. But I think for entry-level people to this kind of genre, or even an FPS in general, they're gonna struggle a little more than someone that, you know, has played Battlefield or Call of Duty and understands that, you know, that Twitch mentality. So there's definitely, you know.
Yeah, I think the thing that I always have to remind myself, and I encourage everyone to remind themselves, this is a zombie apocalypse game, and you really aren't meant to be Rambo. You're not meant to be able to kill every. I mean, it's not a first-person shooter. You shouldn't expect to get a machine gun and just mow things down.
Yeah.
If you need to run, that's a zombie apocalypse game. Like, if you need to run away and find something that you're comfortable, if you're not comfortable firing a bow, great, run, find a gun and use that, or get better or practice using a bow, or punch them in the face and run away, or team up with someone who can use a bow. There are all these tools in the game. You just play with it.
Well, something that was really cool that me and Typhoid did yesterday is we found a house and we had barricades, and I'd never used these before, and we barricaded the. By the way, if I'm talking about any of the stuff that we've done, you can actually go to twitch.com/triage, or you can just go to AltTabMe.com and look at our live streams, and you can see our replays from these. But what we had done is we went into a house and we barricaded it. We boarded up the windows and the doors and everything, and we made a little base. The problem with this is that we made a base, except there's no zombies.
Yep.
So what would be cool, I mean, this is just a suggestion, but if somebody uses a barricade, perhaps that triggers zombies in the area to start dropping. And so then they know. And so you have to fight that barricade. You have to protect your home. So you've made a home out of something else. Otherwise, why have a barricade?
I agree. I think any instance of a destructible item that you place in the game, I think that should attract zombies by default. I think barricades should be destructible as well. I'm not sure if they are.
They are.
But I completely agree. Having that target in the game where the zombies can charge at and destroy, it'll be beneficial because it'll draw things to where people are and where they're settling down.
Exactly. And I think if somebody starts to build too much of a base, or like if someone is modifying the world in a way where they are significantly strongholding themselves, just like, say, Walking Dead, where they had the spoiler alert, they had the prison. The zombies were going towards the prison because there were people there, and they knew that, and so they had to constantly kill the zombies pushing on those fences. Otherwise, those fences would fall over. So I think that some sort of mechanic that makes it so that if you're building bases, or those guys with the shotguns are outside my window. New York streamers, what's up? Hold on, let's just time out.
You're about to get stream sniped.
I didn't die. We're good.
All right.
No, but I definitely agree with that. I think that anywhere where you're building a base, you're starting to really modify the world with structures. I think the zombies should be attracted to that. I think they should really want to go at that. And I also think that places like roads and broken down car areas, and even places in the woods, should have random zombies. There are like 1 or 2 zombies in the woods, but never that many. And the roads, you literally just run on them, and the only fear you have is another player.
Yep.
So overall, I think everyone here can agree, more zombs.
Yeah, and I'm very happy to say that they are. I think Ferry brought it up. John Smedley has basically said that at the moment the game is on easy mode. Apparently, all the zombies interactions are server side. So as they optimize the communication between the server and our game, more zombies will be placed into the game, and they'll hit you faster. At the moment, I tried to kill myself with a zombie, and it took me like 5 minutes to just stand there and get killed. He should eat my face.
Yeah. Well, there's fuck, I forgot.
I actually had a zombie eat my face. There's a nice animation for it. Like,
yeah, I did too.
He wrecked me. He actually did wreck me. And I know they were having some. I know they were having server FPS issues at the start. I know the zombies weren't attacking due to the server FPS issues. So
they weren't attacking Jews on the server? Is that what you said?
No, they weren't attacking Jew, man. Jew, you know, like, oh wow. I mean that's
whoa.
Oh, Jeez. Actually, the Jews would have been safe. So that's fine. Okay. Never mind.
Let me change my background on my character. I've been putting American this whole time. What a fucking waste.
I'm just gonna let you guys keep going and digging here. This is good. It's good stuff.
Well, yeah. I know they're improving the server FPS, and obviously the better they can get it, the more they can add in NPCs and fun zombies, and the better the attack and all that crap, you know.
Yeah, just make it feel like the world is really decrepit and really falling apart. Like, it looks really cool right now. It's a lot of fun to run around. It's a lot of fun when you find items. It's really fun to craft stuff. I have already dedicated myself as the scavenger versus the builder because I just can't micromanage in my brain keeping my energy and my health up and building a base. So I will be out there with the shotgun being like, we got a runner. And the rest of you can build my base for me and it will be good. But no, it's and the game itself is really good looking. There's a lot of moments where I've been running around and I literally just stop and I'm like, whoa, is that the moon? Fernsey, you had a moment like that, didn't you?
Yeah, I was sitting at the side of the lake, and the reflection on the lake was one of the best lighting effects I've ever seen in a game. Like, it actually just blew me away. I was like, holy crap, guys, have you seen this?
For me, the
it was
lighting
really nice.
and the sound are top notch.
Oh, the ambient sound's great. When you're inside a house and it's raining, that sound is just... I've never heard it in a game. Like, you can hear the sound rattling off the windows and the walls.
Yeah.
And the creaking of the wood when you're in the development zones. You can hear the houses creaking. Oh, that really creeps me out. And I love creeping people out because I know they can hear it. So if I see them in a house, I run up to the window and I just turn my flashlight on in the window and scare them.
That's me. It's scary as shit. All you see is just like that creepy like Middle Eastern looking face, whatever that guy's face looks like, just like right there. It's super
Just
creepy.
at the window with a flashlight. It is the best thing ever.
Yeah, no, sound design in a game is something that I always look for. I'm very sound oriented, and when I walked into a house and I heard the rain from outside turn into rain inside, like actual, it sounded as if I was in my own house when it was raining. I literally just stopped and I was like, okay, I'm kind of in love with this game right now.
Yeah, it was nice. That made me smile when I seen that.
Also, what some people don't know is that when you walk into a house from outdoors, your eyes need a second to adjust to the lighting.
Oh shit!
And so it's actually so it's actually darker when you walk into a house for the first time, and then if you stand there for a minute, everything starts to get into focus because your eyes are actually adjusting to the light.
It's great attention to detail. I'm glad.
Yep. So I mean, you've got. I mean, if we were to go on the idea that this is an alpha and that it's not just an alpha, then they've got a very solid foundation of a game.
Yeah.
A very fun, solid foundation. And there's just a lot of tweaks that need to happen, and I hope that they're really going to listen to the community for it. I mean, other than the zombie stuff, what else would you suggest as some stuff?
If I would say reducing the quantity of bullets. If any of you guys have played The Last of Us, on the hardest difficulty, if you had a brick, you felt like you were a god. You had a brick that was a full and if you had a bullet, you just didn't. It was that difficult to kill things, and I think that level of difficulty in the loot should exist. Right now, I actually had at one point 16 pistol rounds. No pistol, but when I found a pistol, I didn't know what to do with all that ammo.
Oh, I know what to do with all that ammo.
Yeah. Shoot another player in his face. And
Yeah. Damn, dude, you should have given it to me. I know exactly what to do with that. See, I ran into the opposite. I had a ton of shotgun ammo, but I couldn't find a damn shotgun.
Yeah.
All day yesterday. All day.
All day.
All day.
All day.
Stop. Please find me a shotgun.
I went everywhere.
I think having the one bullet that you save for just that moment, where things have gone tense, no room to fuck around with your bow anymore. You pull out the gun, mostly just for the intimidation factor. He's not sure if you have any ammo, but you have one bullet in there. I think that's better.
I agree with you because then you wouldn't have these groups of people running around and just shooting people in the face.
Yes.
I do agree with you.
That reminded me of something that we really need to bring up. Weapons on backs, they really need to exist. Currently, having a shotgun in Uranus is not the best place to store it, I think. Honestly, it's not efficient for anyone to have 2 crowbars and a shotgun up there, honestly.
So what Fernsey just said, for people that don't understand his accent, he wants the weapons to be shown on your back or on your side. So if you have a pistol, it shows on a holster. If you have a shotgun, it shows on your back. And so this is so that you can't just sneak up on someone with your fists out and be like, oh, I'm friendly, ah, pop, So you at least know what you're getting yourself into when they're running up towards you. Does DayZ do that? I can't remember.
Yeah, Daisy has the guns on the back.
Yeah, so you actually see if someone has a gun.
Yeah, you know if someone's a threat, like far off, you can see it sticking off his back or in his hands, you know. Like there's no way to hide your weapon in that game, sadly. Unless it's in your backpack, actually, that's the only way to do it. If you've got a big enough backpack and you can fit a gun in your backpack, you can do that. If you've not got that, then it's going to be on your back or in your hands. Or both.
Yeah. Yeah, so what else we got about this stuff? I think we've touched. Oh, tell your experiences on a PvE server compared to the PvP server, because I know some people are interested in knowing what it's like on a PvE server.
Ferry and I actually played a lot on a PvE server. We did it solely for the fact because we really wanted to build like a house. The problem we came across was finding enough metal to do it, but the idea was there. We never had to worry about another player, except for maybe them taking loot before us. It was great fun, but the problem is even more apparent that there aren't enough zombies. I turned to Ferry and I was like, we will never die. There are always enough berries around to keep you alive. And there's never... I told her the only way we'll ever lose these characters is if we're stupid. We fall off a cliff, which they've done before just yesterday. Or if a zombie just stands there and hits you the entire time. I mean,
Yeah.
if the second they increase the zombies and they make them a little smarter, if they hit you a little quicker, and they increase the number of them, PvE server will be my exclusive server to go to because it's just amazing.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I think it's a little, because of that, it's not something I would do very often. When I played on the PvE server in 2 separate instances, I came across like a really small handful of people, like 2 or 3 people, that just had it made. They had their base, they had their stash of like so much crap, and they saw I was a new player, and they're like, oh hey, here's a gun and 18 ammo, and here's 5 water bottles, and here's 10 meat. And then like they're like, you can look at my stash, whatever else you want. And their stash had like hundreds of things, and they were good. And
Yep.
you know, it was nice. Like, people are really nice, and they want to role play and they want to help you, but at the same time, there's a very clear end to the game versus like in PvP, where it's almost like you're always either fearing for your life, fearing for your base, or protecting your base.
Yes. So it's one patch away from being the go-to server for me.
What I would like to see is, just as a couple of suggestions, is I'd like to see a hotkey for bandaging. If you've ever seen America's Army, if you've ever played America's Army, a little thing pops up on your screen. It says, you need to bandage. Like if you're bleeding or something like that. Like that doesn't need to show up here. But it's nice to not have to open your inventory, get stuck, not being able to walk, and then not being able to bandage. It would be really cool if you could hit a bandage key. It stops your character, and you start to bandage. And maybe you even see an animation of your hands doing something. Mm-hmm. So that, you know, gives you that immersion factor on that. Or it says no bandages found. I just feel like opening up your inventory and having to search through all your shit really fast, and you're like, oh god, that's cloth, that doesn't look like a bandage. Which one's the bandage?
Yeah.
I think that'd be really helpful, especially when there's a ton of zombies following you. Because in reality, if you were walking around and you had bandages on you, you'd know where those fuckers were.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
There's the map is getting really a lot easier to understand as I walk through it. Mm-hmm. And that website, what the hell is it called? It's called
H1Z1db.co.uk.
Yeah, you can type /loc in the game, and it will literally show you exactly where you are when you spawn, and it makes it so much easier to get places. Unfortunately, we've heard that developers are going to turn off loc in the game. I don't know when. I don't agree with that, because I just feel like, yeah, sure, maybe it's taking it away from the immersion factor for you, but at the same time, it's like, what is the downfall of being able to find your friends faster?
Yeah.
Well, what I think that and what I think is going on, because they said that their intention is later on to make it so you spawn closer to your friends as long as you join their game through Steam. And so having the point of interests and that coincide makes it for an easier gameplay, but since one of those components aren't in there, there's the loc, and I don't think they realized how much people would rely on that. And so I think that when they have both of those features, it's not going to be like 5 hours trying to find your friends. It's going to be like an hour. You guys aren't going to be that far. But in the meantime, people have kind of found a way around it, and they're like, oh crap, this is an issue. But they recognize that, people aren't having fun spending 7 hours trying to get to their friends. So
Yeah.
from what I read, it's not like an immediate thing they're going to take out, but they know people are using Loke. They know people are using that interactive map, and they've stated that that is something on their to-do list during alpha is to take out the Loke.
Yeah. I mean, I've actually used Loke in quite a good few ways. One of them was after I died, I actually used Loke to get back to my killer and screw him up because I wanted my shit back. I mean, I don't think I should be allowed to do that because I knew exactly where to head because of that map. If I didn't have that map, I would have been screwed. I would never have got my stuff back.
That's
but
true.
saying that, I mean, the guy that I did hunt down, it was probably one of the best conversations I've ever had when I was chasing him. Like, he was a really nice guy, and I was like, I feel really bad that I'm just going to cave your head in for my stuff back, you know? Like, so, I mean, I am really enjoying the game. So.
But on the other side, I think that, oh shoot, I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to say, on the other side, Loke is really useful because I do want to play with you. And, like, you know, I think the developers understand how hard it is to read those signs, you know, especially because the signs are bugged. Sometimes you're not even going in the right direction. So
well, and
there's
also
got
when
to
you
be
get
like a give
spawned
and
in the
take.
middle of the woods, it's very hard to find which direction you're going immediately to find a road or anything like that.
Yeah.
It speaks to people are using Loke because I think it speaks to people's desire to want to play with their friends and to play with people. You know, I think deep down people play these games and they always imagine having that base that you do. I don't think anyone ever looks forward to a zombie survival game just to go around and shoot people in the face immediately. I think people I think people
Yeah, but you have friends, right? Like, you want to do that with your friends.
Yeah.
But the fantasy, I think, is that you actually are recreating moments from, like, The Walking Dead. You know, the best moments are where you're actually with other people. Walking through the woods, you know, just shooting the one zombie by yourself, I don't think that appeals to the vast majority of people. And I think that's why people are wanting to navigate. Navigating around is kind of useless if you're not going somewhere, and I think most people are going to friends.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I had a lot of fun yesterday. Like, I literally sat under a bridge on a road just being a troll like half the day. Because I kept dying. People kept killing me yesterday. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep spawning. I'm going to shred my top and my pants. And I'm going to sit under this bridge. Anyone that passes, I'm going to try and rob their pants and their top. And I had some of the best roleplay I've ever had in my life just sitting on that bridge. They were like, wow, you really are a troll sitting under the bridge. I was like... Yeah.
That's so funny. I remember what I was going to say, though. I was going to say that on the other side, even though we've been using the Loke, it still takes hours to find each other. Like, being able to know where you are and where you're headed doesn't help you at all. You know, like, it's still a big map. It takes a long time to get from the southeast corner to the northwest corner, and pray to God you don't meet anyone that's going to kill you. So, you know, that kind of balances it out a little bit.
Yeah. Well, overall, I think the game as it is now is building a lot of hype. I think everybody in here that is playing and, you know, understands that this is a game that hopefully they will continue to take our suggestions. They will continue to listen to the player base. It's a lot of fun. And so I hope that it just continues in the direction it's going, because right now they are releasing patches. They are fixing things quickly. And it looks like, you know, we could have the zombie apocalypse game of the year here.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So if you haven't picked it up yet, it's H1Z1. You can just go to Steam and download it right now. It's $20 if you want the basic package, or it's $40 for the big package where you get airdrops and stuff. And you can also buy that stuff in-game with Station Cash, which I guess is Sony's like currency, and you know, that kind of stuff. Anything else that we haven't talked about you guys wanted to hit on, or have we...
Trying to think.
Oh, I think we've touched on a lot of the good topics.
Yeah.
I think that's...
A lot of the major stuff.
It's only little things I'd like to see, like, you know, like maybe NPC factions, you know, having that like good and bad kind of thing. I kind of like that, you know, maybe have like NPCs walking about with some guns that you could either attack or, you know, help fend off from zombies, you know. Lots of little things like that. It's nice to see like little events happening, which is why I also like the airdrops, because it is an event.
Yeah.
It's somewhere to go. It's somewhere for you know there's going to be PvP on top of that. You know, people are like fighting for their life to get what is inside that. You know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice, and I like the way they've done it now with the airdrops. That they've changed it so it's actually like the medic crate. You get lots of medical equipment. You get like the the mechanical ones, you get lots of like car supplies and all that kind of stuff. I really like that. I mean, and the drop rates for them, that's only like 10% now, isn't it? It's like something quite low. Then there's not like a high chance of getting amazing stuff anymore.
Yeah, I think some of the
Yeah.
crafted items could be really useful for hordes of zombies coming at you. So, you can build up base defenses and you can build bear traps and all this other stuff and spikes on the ground. And I think if, there were more events, you would be more inclined to drop these things, in strategic areas rather than just putting them on a road to fuck with people. So you would,
I think you'd also be encouraged to craft more, because I think for now a lot of people aren't crafting past the like combat knife, hatchet, just like makeshift tools, weapons.
Yep. So, anyway, so that's our impressions on H1Z1's alpha. Thanks for tuning in. We're gonna probably do a couple more of these as the game progresses and we have more stuff to say and we get out of game to actually do this for a couple minutes before we go back into it and ruin our sleeping patterns for the rest of our lives. Yay!
Forever.
Woo!
Forever and ever.
Another 5 a.m. late night. Woo!
Shot in the head.
So yeah, come hang out with us. We've made a lot of friends. I mean, Fernsey wasn't even part of AltTabMe until we ran across him in game and we were like, hey, dude, come on, play with us. So
Yeah.
Anyway, so once again, this is a podcast from AltTabMe.com, the community that Outlasts release dates. That includes this one if this one fails. Hopefully it doesn't. But if you want to, go to AltTabMe.com, check us out, hang out with the community, grab a beer, enjoy yourself. It's just a cool little place for everybody to hang out. And if you don't want to do that, you can go into H1Z1 and try to find us in game, and we will make sure not to shoot you in the face right away.
Maybe.
So yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. We will be going to live stream probably right after this, so we're gonna start playing again. So tune into twitch.tv/triage with a 1, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Guys.
Bye.